Hi, I'm Donna Wolfe from Naztazia.com. I've been cleaning out my yarn stash for the past few weeks and found some discontinued yarn. And I thought it would be fun to see if we could go through it and if you remember any of it.
Remember Red Heart Plush from 15 years ago? It had a nice soft terry cloth-like texture. How about Red Heart Light and Lofty from 2005? This yarn was neat for blankets. I made a pink and white blanket for my daughter back then. Red Heart Symphony is still the softest yarn I've ever felt. It made the softest hats and scarves.
And I always thought these yarns meant for ruffle scarves were pretty neat.
Ruffle yarn gained popularity starting in about 2011. One side had a mesh, while the other side was decorative. With crochet, you would take your crochet hook and make a chain through the top edge of the mesh, skipping spaces to make it ruffle. Almost all manufacturers had their version of ruffle yarn.
Now here's one I always liked for making handbags.
Although they discontinued Strata, Bernat Home Deck yarn is kind of close. Premier's Crafty Yarn was my favorite for quite some time as well. Back in the year 2008, Caron came out with a line called Naturally Caron. These yarns contain blends of natural fibers and were incredibly soft. And Spa was probably my favorite. You can see the almost chain-like texture used to create it. Modadea was a sister brand to Red Heart Yarn back in 2005. Their yarns were geared more towards fashion knitting and crocheting, and Dream was my favorite, as it was incredibly soft. Moonlight Mohair from back in 2006 was an amazing yarn. It was soft and had a nice sparkling look to it that really dressed up anything you made with it. Novelty yarns like Patton's Pooch from 2007 worked great when held together with another yarn while you knit or crochet. I miss Lion Brand's Lion Suede. It felt like Bernat Blanket, however, it was denser and had a nice corduroy strength to it. In 2013, Bernat had some neat novelty yarns like Boa Furs, which added some nice texture to the edges of items. In 2006, Caron Simply Soft had a thicker, quick version. This was a silky soft yarn that worked up, as the label says, super quick. And finally, do you remember Jewel Box from Caron? It had a nice chenille texture that was wrapped with a thin strand of yarn, giving it a nice look to your work. So what other discontinued yarns do you miss and wish they would bring back? Please let me know in the comments below.
I hope you've had some fun looking through the discontinued yarn with me.